2019. All right, so we started out with 10, got a couple missing, but we'll talk about them in just a little bit. Cam showed up to almost every tournament she could. Cam blew out her ACL in July of 2017 at one of their last tournaments from last year. She got it repaired, went through the school season in rehab, thought she was going to be able to come back to us in the spring, so she came to tryouts, made the team, of course. And then she came out in the spring. She started working out just a little bit, popped her knee again, had to have surgery again in the spring. She's back on the court now, and can't wait to see what she does in school. I'm ready to see where she goes from there. So that's Cam Maples. You guys know her. I love her very much. Mac. Mackenzie Harvey from Grand Blanc. Halfway through our season, had to pull me aside and talk to me. She had signed with a talent agency in California, going to be an actress and a model out there. So never had that experience with basketball. But she's out there now, and she just sent me a message the other day. She's doing great. And, she met with her agent, and she's joining the Screen Actors Guild and doing some amazing stuff out there. So we'll look to see her on a Netflix show sometime soon. I think that's what she's after. So it was different with basketball with her, because here's a girl that's going into her senior year, and normally you're prepping for college, and we didn't have to. I didn't have to send out anything. It was, well taken care of. So Mackenzie Harvey. One other girl that's not here. She's on vacation with her family right now. Headed down to North Carolina. South Carolina. Yeah. Her dad might have gotten a job. Mom? Thank you. Thank you. Her mom might have gotten a job in South Carolina, so they're checking that out right now, and otherwise she would have been here. Katie Knapp. Defensive stopper. Wow, I mean, on the court, if you're looking for a kid to stop somebody, I just said sick 'em, and she was after it and on it. If somebody was scoring on us, I'd tell her, and so we would play this game where as soon as she saw that girl going off, Katie would come off the court, and I'd have to hurry up and send somebody out, even though we didn't have somebody ready. And Katie would watch the other bench, and when that girl got ready to go back in, she'd go back in automatically, and I'd have to figure out who she was taking out. So she made sure she was on it. Very heads-up player, and loved watching her work, loved watching her play. So Katie Knapp. All right, so going down the list. Lexi's been with us a few years. I say often, if Lexi's smiling, we're winning. If Lexi doesn't smile, we're not going to win. We need that positive energy. The other girls are feeding off of it now, and they fed off it on the court. When you realize, or not even realize, that you bring that type of personality to any group or team that you're with, that's invaluable. You're going to need that later in life, and it's going to serve you well. Whatever job you choose to do, you're always going to be part of a team. We talk about these life lessons all the time. Lexi brings that. She brings that energy, that positive energy. On the court, she's become really deadly from the elbow. Get the ball in her hands anywhere inside of 12 feet, and it's going in. She led us in scoring a lot of games, and had to defend girls that were 6 inches taller than her quite a bit. So, Lexi Lynn. Taylor played every position for us and had to. She often was very smooth from the outside. Scored a lot of points in a lot of games for us. Scored scores. She scored all the scores. She scored a lot of points, a lot of games for us. Tough defender. Angry if we weren't doing well. Happy when we were winning. You read it. She doesn't hide her emotions very well, which is good. She leads that way too. Expect to see a lot of things out of her over the next year. We're going to be kind of close over the next year, so yeah. Great things. Taylor Heath. I've known Olivia Bowden since she was down to help me. 5, 6? Yeah. So I've known Olivia a long time. I've gotten to watch her grow, and more importantly, I've been able to be her coach and seeing her grow through that process also. She always wants to be out. She always wants to help her team do better, And that's a great quality, to never shy away from any challenge. Offensive rebounds. I challenged her this year to really work the boards, especially offensively. And there were quite a few games where she was hitting double digits on the boards from that front, right? Because she plays way tougher than you would expect. Great kid, toughness, tough as nails, can score from the outside. Love to watch her work, can't wait to see what she does. Olivia Bowden. Emma Van Loon, lightning quick, all over the court. Her smile will brighten up a room. All these girls, I'm telling you what, these personalities and how they played for each other was such fun to be part of for me. So much fun to be part of the joy that they shared when we were doing well, and that wasn't always the case. But we shared a lot of joy when we worked. Emma leads that for us. She brings that positive energy to it. Defensively, she's all over the court. She attacks. She plays defensive with an offensive mind frame, so she's always going after it, hitting shots from deep and playing really well. So Emma Van Loon. We got 3 girls that are seniors at the end, so I'm kind of saving those for last. Mac, we did lose early, and Katie can't be here. Those are 2 other seniors. But out of this team, we did have 5 seniors. Sarah struggled early on with talking to me because she had some news, and it wasn't easy for her to share it with me. And so we finally talked. We sat down because I was pushing her to get me the list of colleges that she's interested, that are interested in her, because that's what we do, is try to provide those opportunities and gain the exposure so that girls can play at the next level. So I kept asking her, and she was kind of avoiding me. And finally, I heard through the grapevine that she needed to talk to me. So we sat down, and she decided that she wasn't going to play basketball in college, which isn't easy, something that you've done your entire life. So we came to that understanding, and we moved forward, and she got to really enjoy this year without that focus on where am I going to get recruited, are the colleges there. She got to really enjoy being a teammate and being a point guard leader of the team for us. And it was fun for me to watch that experience, to know that this was her last travel experience and that I was going to be able to be a part of that. And so when the very last game of the season, the very last tournament of the season, I realized something. They had this tournament, the way the national tournament was set up, if we lost and early on, we got to play for the D2 national championship. And so when we realized that, I was like thinking of my seniors. I was like, wow, how great is it to be able to finish out their tournament with hopefully a win and hopefully walk away with a little bit of hard work from this team. And we were able to do that, and she was such a huge part of that. When I took them off the court individually, that was an amazing experience for me, and I'll never forget pulling Sarah Stewart off of that court the last time. Last year we weren't sure who was going to come to tryouts. I knew about Olivia, and I knew what she brought to the court. I had seen her play both with the Mystics, and I'd seen her play with Dakota. So I saw her play with Dakota, and I saw her play with the Mystics. I knew what type of player she was. When she showed up to tryouts, I was over the top ecstatic, and so very happy that I might have the chance to coach her. She's a leader with what she does and how she does things. Her determination, her hard work, her effort that she puts forth is an example for everybody here in how you approach life. She inspires me with her determination, her hard work. Olivia Dammer. And probably the second loudest kid on our team is Olivia. Danny, obviously the loudest kid you've ever heard in a gym, which makes me so happy. When the team needs its motor started and you got a player like that on the court, it's great. When we need a three, Danny's getting the ball. There was a game where we were down by 2, right? Or we were down by 3, right? We had to take it to overtime. At Lansing, I put you in at the very end.
We were down by 1.
We were down by 1, and we had 7 seconds left. Which we do this scenario at practice all the time. We practice this scenario. So we had this scenario, and I got Danny back in the court, and I'm like, let's get the ball to Danny. We drew it up how we wanted it to happen. Happened perfectly. Danny went to shoot, and the girl just fouled the heck out of it. and should have left her alone because I think Danny was coming off of 1 foot and coming up. But she misses the shot like by a mile, but the girl follows her. But she turns around, she's laying on the ground looking at me going, and I knew they were going in. And I don't know if everybody else knew they were going in, but I knew she had to make 2 out of the 3 to win the game, and she did. And so that fire, that spark, that joy of the game and the joy to play with each other are what defined Danny and defined our season too. The joy of playing the game together, which you guys had a lot of. So Danny Hopkins. This year was up and down. If anybody watched us play, we had some good games and we had some really tough games. This team went out to Chicago. We were playing against college teams. College coaches are now taking their teams, their recruiting class, and they're bringing them to Chicago to play as a recruiting class together at the biggest tournament in the world. This team had to play against some of those. I want to share just one story because it's inspiring for me and I hope it will be for you. We had college coaches watching. One guy who, where's he from? Concordia? Concordia's new coach had the assistant coach at the job. Now he's the head coach because their head coach moved out. But he was watching us play in Chicago. We were down by 38 points to a college team. That was really, really good. And there was a ref sitting right behind me, and he was waiting to ref the next game, so he's not paying attention really to the game. We have a give and go where Sarah gives it to Lexi, Lexi gives it back to Sarah. Sarah makes the bucket, gets an and one. And everybody on the bench stands up and they're 5 feet on the court, screaming. Yeah, that was great, that was great. And we go up to, and Sarah's now shooting. Everybody helps her up, runs and pulls her up, and she lines up to shoot, and I go to the ref. I said, that was pretty fun. He goes, your bitch is crazy loud. I said, we're down by 38. He said, well, you're down by 38? I said, uh-huh. This team played for each other, and it didn't matter the score, because they were an inspiration to watch how they played together. After the game, is it Kyle Haffey? Kiefer Haffey. Pulled me aside after Danny had talked to him for a little bit. He said, Coach, I hope I have a team like that. I said, one that loses by 40? He said, that doesn't matter. We got losing games, we'll have winning games. He said, I hope that no matter what the score is, I have a team that can play for each other the way yours did and inspire each other the way yours did. And to have a college coach tell me that, I won. I don't care what the score is, we won. To have that team that plays for each other, that's winning. That's success in my book. The score of the game, I'm sure none of them know it. And next year, everybody's not going to remember your records, how many games you won or lost. You are going to remember the experiences you had. You are going to remember if the girls on your team were tight and you had a good experience. You're going to remember if your coach was a jerk. You're going to remember if you sat on the bench and never played. You're not going to remember the games you won or lost. But if you're making these memories that these kids are making out there, that Pride girls are making out there, you're going to remember that for the rest of your life. And that makes me very, very proud. I'm proud of this team because they exemplified that this whole year. So give them a round of applause. A couple other thank yous, and then I got to give the seniors something. But Kyle was there almost every practice. I think every practice but like one, even when I couldn't be. Kyle was huge in keeping the girls together and putting a smile on their face when they needed it, putting a smile on my face when I needed it, and being the most supportive husband to Hannah you could ever expect, as well as being a great assistant coach and helping our bench the entire season. So thank you, Kyle. Yeah. And a special thank you to Hannah as she moves forward in her coaching experience. And as we go forward to the next year, we'll see what tryouts bring us and what kind of girls we have. But a special thank you to her for being my right hand, because I needed it. I mean, we were so busy, and hopefully I was able to help her out a little bit too. So, Coach Hannah. And then once again, please, if you ever see Stace, just tell her thank you everywhere she goes. None of this happens. Pride doesn't happen without her. The picnic wouldn't be here. I wouldn't even know you people. So thank her, because I am nothing. I can't do anything without her. So always thank her. got a special little something for our seniors. Yeah, this one's been not a surprise because we had to give one away early when Mac left. So for each of you guys, these are limited edition shirts, okay? Only those girls that are going into their senior year and finish out with pride get these shirts. I think we've given out, how many? 11. Emily's got one. 11 total shirts have ever been given out. So limited edition, wear them with pride. Take them away and everywhere you go because you are now Pride alumni and forever. You're always welcome back and you always have a place in our gym. You know that. I love you. That's all we have, so thank you very much everybody. We got some games coming up, we're going to have some fun. Yeah.
Well, one more thing, I did not thank my wife. I just want to make sure we wouldn't be where we are.
Can I get all of the kids over here because we got to count off and then break off into teams.